Croeso and welcome. My name is James and today I want to show you one of the interesting ways you can use GCSE maths, because today I want to show you how you can share a secret password. Like one of your own passwords, you could share it with all your friends, but no individual will be able to use the password alone. Instead, at least two of your friends will have to cooperate before they are able to use the password. For example, imagine you are a bank manager and you've got the password to the vault. So you can open the vault whenever you want. But sometimes you want to have a day off, sometimes you want to go on holiday, so you want to be able to give your employees the password as well, so they can open the vault when you're not there. The problem with giving everyone the password is one of them might be a thief and they could steal all the money. So instead, you want to be able to give out the password in a way so that at least two of them have to agree and cooperate before they can use the password. Both of them might be thieves, but it's less likely. At least it's a check. It's kind of like giving your employees keys, and two of them have to use their keys simultaneously before they can open the vault. That's what they used to do. The problem with using real physical keys is that if someone loses the key, you have to change the whole system, which is very expensive. That's why a password is better, because a password can be changed whenever you want. It's more convenient. So let's say you're the bank manager and you've got the password. Let's say the password is 277051. Why not? So you've got the password to the vault. You want to share that password with all your employees, but you want to do it in a way so that at least two of them have to agree to open the vault. How would you do that? I want to give you a moment to think about how you would do that, and I will be back in a second with some solutions to this, including a very clever mathematical solution that they actually use in real life. Okay, I'm back. So I gave you this problem of sharing the secret password 277051 with your employees so that at least two of them have to agree before they can use the password and open the vault. Now, I don't know if you came up with any solutions of your own, but I've got some suggestions. Perhaps we could take that password and split it into two halves. So you give half your employees 277 blank blank blank, and you give the other half of your employees blank 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 051. That means that no individual will have the complete password, but if two of them cooperate, they can put their two halves together, complete the password, and then they can open the vault, which is kind of nice. Although you have given the thief a massive clue. Because before, if they wanted to open the vault, they would have to search through every 6-digit number from 0 to 999,999. Now you've given them half the password. So now they just need to work out the blanks, which is a 3-digit number from 0 to 999. That is a lot easier. So maybe there's another way to do it. Perhaps we could give our employees two random numbers that add up to the secret password. So you give half your employees one random 6-digit number, you give the other half of your employees the other random 6-digit number. That means the two employees then add them together, get the secret password, open the vault. Your thief, though, they've got a random 6-digit number. If they want the other random 6-digit number, they're going to have to search from 0 to 999,999 again. So it's a way of keeping your secret safe. And if you came up with any of those solutions, well done. If you came up with a different solution, well done as well. But maybe you can see a disadvantage to these solutions, because you do need your two employees to have the two halves. So you need to complete the password with the two halves. It would be nice if you could give each employee their own individual password, and any combination of two employees can use their two secrets, put them together and reconstruct that missing password. Now that's what they actually do. So this is called secret sharing. It's something they use in real life, and to do it they use a graph. So here's your graph, here's the x-axis and here's the y-axis, and they put the secret password on the y-axis. So here it is, 277051, and then what they do is they draw a straight line through it. And it could be any straight line you want. So it could be sloping up or it could be sloping down, but the straight line is the secret, right? The employees do not know what that straight line is, but you give each employee 1 point on that straight line. So the advantage of this is that everyone gets their own little secret. But here's the really clever bit. If you just have 1 point, you don't know what the secret line is. So if you want to find the password, you need to find that y-intercept, and there are infinitely many solutions that go through your point. So you've not been given enough information. But if 2 employees cooperate, they can use their 2 points and draw a straight line through them. That way they can get the y-intercept, and that is the secret password. And it doesn't matter which 2 points you use. So any 2 employees can use their secret points and find the password. Now, in real life, that secret password could be any number you want. It could be any decimal, it could be any integer, and this idea will still work. Although in real life you wouldn't be working out with graph paper, but you would have 2 points, which means you can work out the gradient of the straight line, either with pen and paper or with a computer. And if you've got the gradient, you can also work out the y-intercept, and that's the secret password. So a calculation is more accurate than doing it on graph paper. But the important thing is, to work out that secret password, you do need at least 2 points. It's such a simple solution, really, to a really interesting problem. But here's the twist. What about if I change it? What about if I want at least 3 people to cooperate before they can open the door? That means that 1 person isn't enough to open the door, and 2 people isn't enough to open the door. Well, in that case, I can do exactly the same idea, but this time, instead of using a straight line, I would use a quadratic. So something like this, a formula that starts with x squared. And just as before, I would give my employees points on that quadratic, but 1 person alone would not be enough to work out the quadratic. 2 people would not be enough to work out the quadratic. You need 3 people to work out the quadratic. So 3 people need to cooperate and use their points before they can work out the quadratic and the secret password. But if you wanted 4 people to cooperate, then you would use a cubic curve that has a formula starting with x cubed, and so on. So if you use a formula starting with x to the power n, then you need n plus 1 people to cooperate before they can find the secret password. So there it is, I love it. Secret sharing is what it's called, and it's so easy to use and very easy to change if you need to. If you want to change the password, that's easily done. If you get new employees coming in, you just give them new points on the curve. And if you want to change how many people cooperate to open the door, that's easily done as well. You can even create a kind of hierarchy if you want. So for example, you could set it up so that at least 4 employees have to agree to open the door, so you give all your employees a point, but you could give your assistant managers 2 points, so they've got twice the power of a regular employee. So 2 assistant managers can agree to open the door, or 4 regular employees can agree to open the door. It's so flexible in that way. And it's not just banks that use it. You can imagine countries using this same idea, so that they have to agree and cooperate to fire a missile. Or they use it in computing, where they can share a password among several servers, so that if any of the servers go down, then the password can still be reconstructed. Or you can use the same idea just to send a regular password to an individual, but you can send it in steps. So if any of the steps are stolen, the password is still safe. It is such a flexible idea, and all it uses is just some graphs, really. It's GCSE maths. So if that's what GCSE maths can do, imagine what A-level maths can do. I guess that's all from me for now. So I'll say thank you very much, and hoil.